today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this brand new 7'3" post scoring stretch big on NBA 2K23. So at this point of the year, we're getting towards the final months of NBA 2K23 going into 2K24. So I definitely wanted to try and make some very fun builds towards the end of this part of the year. But this is definitely one of my favorite parts of the year when it comes to the 2K cycle, because it's summer. We could just have fun with making new and creative builds. And speaking of summertime, it's summertime, guys, which means it's going to be super hot outside. So you guys should go pick up some new shorts at my sponsor, pristinejerseys.com. They got a bunch of high quality products over there. Link is going to be in the description. All right, but now let's start making this build. And it's actually going to be pretty easy to make this build. When it comes to the vitals, the only thing that really matters is the position, and we're making it at center. And then when it comes to the body settings, we're going to be going with the height of 7'3", weight 232 pounds with a 7'3" wingspan and a defined body shape. All right, so now when it comes to the body settings on this build, we're going to be going with an 85 close shot, which is going to get you access to Masher on gold, fast twitch on gold, and fearless finisher on gold, which is going to allow you to hit some really contested close shots in the paint, and it's going to allow you to hit some post hooks as well, because your post hook rating is tied to your close shot. Then when it comes to the driving dunk, we're only going to be going with a 60. We're going to be scoring a lot in the post. We don't really need a super high driving dunk to do that, but we do need a pretty decent standing dunk, and we're going to be going with an 80 standing dunk, which is going to get us the basic big man standing contact dunks. And then when it comes to the post control, we're also going to go with an 80. You can go up to an 87 if you want to get all of the post scoring badges on Hall of Fame, but the ones that I generally use are post spin technician, which I can get at Hall of Fame at this level. Now let's take a look at a couple of finishing clips really quickly. Listen, you're going to be able to get some decent driving dunk animations on this build, even with just a 60 driving dunk. And then when you're in the post, you're going to be able to get flashy with these guys. You can hit them with the up and unders once they start jumping, and you're going to have that easy open layup for two. Just to show that again right here, here's another example. Post hop, he jumps, and then we hit him with the up and under, and it's an easy bucket. But now let's take a look at the shooting really quickly, and this is definitely one of my favorite parts of this build. Listen, you are 7'3", and you can get a 90 mid-range shot as well as a 93 point shot on this build. This is going to get you access to a lot of shooting badges, which include having things like Midi Magician on Hall of Fame, Space Creator on Hall of Fame, which are definitely really good things to have as a post scorer and a shot creator on this build. But now let's take a look at the shooting highlights. Man, listen, this is definitely one of the best parts of this build. I feel like you can make almost any shot when I'm on this build, and since I'm 7'3", it is almost impossible to contest the shots that I'm going up with, since we have that super high midi, that super high three-pointer combined with our 7'3" high. It's a pretty dominant build when it comes to shooting at the mid-range, shooting out from three, even when it comes to just like catch and shoots. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we are literally just going to be shooting over people on this build, no matter what shot it is, whether it's your post fades, post hop shots, your midi fades, your step back midi, step back threes, catch and shoot threes. It does not matter. You are going to shoot over everyone on this build. It's gonna feel like a stretch big from 19. I mean, take a look at this right here. We're down 3, 2 seconds left on the clock to end the game. We're hitting a fade from 3 to tie it, take us to overtime. And then look at this right here. We're now in overtime. I got take. I'm trying to combo up. I'm getting doubled. Listen, we were playing this game. It was literally just me and Sprague and 3 AIs, and we killed this team. I ended up having 50 points and winning this game. But listen, man, I can't show you guys all of these incredible shooting highlights without giving you guys the jump shot that I was trying out. So listen, we're trying out something new. We're using jump shot base PJ Tucker, release 1 Tim Duncan, release 2 Alex Len. It's definitely one of my new favorite jump shots. All right, so now let's move on to the playmaking really quickly. You're going to get only a 65 pass accuracy and a 65 ball handle on this build. I ended up upgrading it this way because if I upgraded the pass accuracy too much, I could not get shot creating takeover on this build, which I definitely wanted to use. It is super fun to have on a 7'3". Now, obviously, with that 65 pass accuracy, you're going to get access to Silver Break Starter, which is definitely really nice to have on this build if you want to throw some outlet passes. Now, right here, we're getting doubled. We dot down to the AI, and it's an easy bucket. All right, and now really quickly, we're going to move down to the defense. Listen, this is not going to be one of the greatest defensive builds you've ever seen. As you saw up above with the rest of the attributes, we spent a lot in finishing and shooting, so there's not going to be a whole lot left over, but we are going to get a 74 interior defense, a 63 perimeter defense, a 54 steal, an 88 block, which will get you silver anchor and Hall of Fame chase down artist, which is super nice to have on this build. And we're going to get an 85 defensive rebound, which will get you silver rebound chaser. But now let's take a look at this build fully maxed out. Listen, you're going to get 17 finishing badges, 28 shooting badges, 9 playmaking badges, and 19 defensive badges on this build. And as you can see below, here are the physicals. You're going to get a 58 speed, 43 excel, 70 strength, which is pretty solid on this build, a 73 vertical, and an 89 stamina. Now let's take a look at takeovers really quickly. All right, so now when it comes to the takeovers on this build, you get all of the shot creating, sharp shooting, rim protecting, and post scoring takeovers on this build. Now, when I'm using this build, I primary my post shot daggers takeover, and my secondary is going to be negative impact. The way the shot creator takeovers work this year are a little weird. Pull-up precision only works with your pull-ups, and then ankle breaking shots only works with your spin shots and your step backs. But negative impact pretty much works for all of them, and it reduces the contest for every single shot that you would take off the dribble, whether it's your fades, your step backs, your spin jumpers. So I prefer negative impact because I know it will give me a boost for all of my shots. And as you can see right here, we ended up getting the build name Stretch 5. Now let's do something a little bit different here. I'm going to show you guys the badges I use on this build. All right, so let's take a look at the badges I'm going to be using. Starting off in the finishing, I use Dream Shake on silver. This helps with my shimmy fades as well as my up and unders and gives me a boost to all of those shots. Next, I'm going to be using Fearless Finisher on gold. This allows you to make more contested shots in the paint, whether it's layups or post hooks. Then I'm going to be using Post Spin Technician on Hall of Fame, and this is going to be a fantastic badge for you if you want to shed off a defender when you do post spins and get easy lanes to the basket. The next thing we're going to use is Pro Touch on Hall of Fame. Now listen, this one's kind of optional because this badge really only works for post hooks in my situation. I don't really time my layups, but Pro Touch will work when you time your post hooks and will help you make more of them more often. And then moving on to tier 2, we're going to be using Aerial Wizard on silver. This is a badge that helps you catch lobs as well as go for putback dunks at a more higher rate. And now moving on to the final finishing badge, and the only badge we're using in tier 3 as of right now is Fast Twitch on gold. This is going to help you get dunks up faster, layups up faster when you're in the paint, which is going to also get you less of a contest as well and have a higher make percentage. You can use badges like Masher and Rise Up on this build if you want to, but you're going to need more badge points or use a double core in finishing to allow you to get access to those badges. All right, so now moving on to the shooting, we're going to be using Agent 3s on silver, which is going to allow you to make pull-up or spin shots from the three-point line. The next badge that I use, which is actually a really big one, is Amped. This is going to boost your make percentage when your stamina is low when you're shooting the ball. The next two I'm going to talk about in unison, which are definitely going to be two of the most important post-scoring badges that I use on this build, which are going to be your Mini Magician on Hall of Fame as well as your Space Creator on Hall of Fame. Now, the way these badges work is very simple. Mini Magician is going to work on all of your post fades, your shimmy fades, as well as your dribble pull-ups and spin shots in the mid-range area. So if you go for like a fade, like with like the KD dribble pull-up, then that's going to count with Mini Magician. Same thing for all of your spin shots as well. And then when it comes to Space Creator, that badge is going to work with your post hop shots as well as your step backs from the mid-range area as well as the three-point area. Space Creator is definitely one of my favorite badges from this year, and it's been by far my most used badge. And then when it comes to my tier 2 badges, I'm going to be using Claymore on Hall of Fame. This is definitely one of my favorite spot up badges from this year. Basically, the longer you stand still, the higher of a make percentage you're going to have when using this badge. The effect starts after 1 second of standing still and maxes out at 4 seconds after standing still. And again, the longer you stand still, the higher your make percentage is going to be on a catch and shoot. And then with our final badges, I'm just going to run through them very quickly. We get Blinders on goal, which is going to help you reduce contests from people jumping at you from the sides, like pulling hands up defense from the side. Then you have Catch and Shoot, which is going to, well, help you hit catch and shoot shots. And lastly, Limitless Range, which is going to help you shoot from Limitless. I think those are all very self-explanatory and I don't need to explain them a lot. And then when it comes to the playmaking, we're going to run through these pretty quickly. You get Break Starter on silver, which is going to help you throw outlet passes on the fast break. Bronze Quick First Step, Bronze Bailout, Bronze Special Delivery, Bronze Floor General, and Bronze Clamp Breaker are the badges I use on this build. And then when it comes to the defensive badges that I use on this build for my tier 1s, I'm using Bronze Challenger to help me get better contests with jump shots, Bronze Interceptor, which allows me to get lanes. It's very simple, passing lane steals. Then when it comes to my tier 2s, we're going Chase Down Artist on Hall of Fame, helps you get chase down blocks. Box Out Beast, which will help you box out defenders when trying to go for a rebound or help you worm defenders when trying to go for a rebound as well. And then when it comes to my tier 3s, it's going to be very simple. We're going to get Anchor on silver as well as Rebound Chaser on silver, which are essential badges for bigs on NBA 2K23. Anchor is going to help you, well, anchor down the defense, especially in the paint, allows you to get more blocks and allows you to get better hands up contests as well. And then Rebound Chaser helps you get rebounds. That's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.